Hello, hello. This is Music Scrap, the musical scrapper, and I'm continuing my MonoPrinting 101 videos. And part 3, this is part 3, and I'm going to talk about layering. So when you're layering on your paper, generally it means one layer is already dry and you're going to add another wet layer on top of it. Now, um, you don't have to be as careful with the color wheel for this unless you're using translucent paints. You have to know your paints to know whether they're translucent or whatever. Now, this print I made in part 1. So I used two colors. I used a blue, a light blue, well, yeah, light blue, lightish blue, and I used a green. Okay, in part 1. So I was like, Dixie started the palm trees. Okay. Anyway, so by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, it is being recorded live on Ustream. So I do have a live chat. So even though it is a tutorial, I will be occasionally talking to people in my chat. So, all right. So this one with the layering, you can simply layer color. So I could simply put some more color on my plate and layer it on top. But when I layer, I usually use stencils or masks to add the next layer to my page. So first I'm going to show a mask. Now the mask I'm going to use, holy smoly, where did it go? See, I told you, Paula and I are the best at losing. It was right here. Oh, there it is. Phew. Sheesh. Put some layers. So I'm going to use this mask. Now, I'm going to explain what I want. What I want is, I want these hands to show up in my blue, okay, and my green. Actually, I think I can probably put the mask and the, hold on. I might be able to use the mask and the same one. Yeah, I can probably. Okay. So I'm going to use the mask and I'm going to use the stencil. It'll show you the two different ways at the same time. So what I want is, with the mask, I want the hands to show up in the blue and green, and I want everything else to be black. Okay? So what I'm going to do to achieve that is I'm going to put black paint. Excuse your ears, please. I'm going to bang my paint jar. This is Dessert's student grade paint, and I love it even more. It's even thicker than the Liquitex, a little bit thicker than the Liquitex. Dessert's is an art store in Canada, so this is their own brand of paint. And I need my palette knife here. My roundabout's pushed back too far, so it won't turn. And I've got so much other carp in the way. There we go. Now, black paint goes a lot farther on your jelly plate, it seems, than other paint colors. So take it easy with that black, because it doesn't take as much to get good coverage. Don't know why. I assume it's because it has all the pigments, all the colors of pigment in it. So it gives you better coverage. If that's the truth, I have no idea. So I know this probably scares people, but no fear. So on the blue one, I want the hands to be blue and everything else to be black. Black is a nice solid color I didn't have to put that much paint on, so I'm going to end up with some black here that I don't need, but whatever. It was kind of a waste. I do my best not to waste, but you know, sometimes that happens. So I want to make sure I get lots of black pulled up. Mask is between my paper and the black paint. So what I have done is this. Now notice, you might say, well, why didn't you just put the mask on and paint around it? Well, yes, you could have done that, but then you wouldn't have gotten this. You would not have gotten the kind of faded, distressed black background. See that? And you can see that that blue shimmer is left over from the red blue and the violet blue that I had on the layer before. Okay. All right, so that's one way to layer, by using a mask. Now I'm going to have to clear this black off. Now, here's the cool thing. When I pick the mask up, it is going to leave behind the hands in black. So I'm going to take my orange, red, and yellow one, and I'm going to sit it there. I don't want to get a whole bunch of black all over everything, so I'm just going to try and sit this bottom part down and see what I get. There we go. Jean, cut her. Oh, so I read that, CB. It says Allie Jean. I thought Allie cut herself. Oh, phew. Yes, I cut that myself. Yeah, it was an online image online, and I just pulled it into my silhouette program and cut it. And you can still even see some shimmer in that black that came through. Okay, so there's two ways to layer. Using a mask, masking out the color you want to save. But then this is actually similar to using a stencil, because I ended up with the mask shape in the black. Okay. See, Kim? Do you want a jelly plate now, Kim? That's true. If you're not going to use larger papers, you don't need the 12 by 14. I do have the small ones as well. So, you know, it definitely works, right? Now, I want to find something else I want to layer on. Okay. So, I've got a piece of deli paper. Now, I should have done that black one last. I'm going to clean it off. Black is one color that I do usually... Oh, I'm going to show you my pull-up print. I wonder what I'll get. I think I'm going to use white, let's see what I've got in here. Hold on. I think I'm going to use the PBO Buff Titanium. So it's unbleached titanium paint. So it's like ivory. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to see what I can get. It's almost used up. See if I get enough. This is what I call a cleanup print. It's when I want to clean off my plate. Now, to do a cleanup print, you have to be careful to use not too much paint. A thin layer of paint, much thinner than you would use to do your normal pulls. These are usually my favorite pulls because you get kind of a black background. I'm just wiping the black off my brayer here. Oops. Okay. Now, I am not going to do a sample of Paula, who is Journal Artista on YouTube and Ustream. I'm not going. Paula has a very cool crusty bits technique, layering technique. I'm not going to do a sample of that because she has some really great videos showing how to do that. All right, I'm going to pull up a little bit of this. You want it to get a little bit tacky. Now, some people say that this reactivates the paint underneath. No. The paint underneath is acrylic paint. You can't reactivate it. It's permanent. But what it does do is as this layer that I just put on dries, it will pull up the colors that are underneath it, that are already there. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to allow this layer to kind of dry on my paper. So I'm going to leave it laying down longer than I would normally leave paper on my plate. Okay? Whoops, I got two here. I want to use a clean one for that little spot. I'll use a... Oh, they're starting to stick together a little bit. I'm going to go back and find one that has an open space here. Just 'cause there's just a corner. So I'm going to leave this on a little longer because what I want is I want the ivory paint to start to dry on my paper so that as it dries, it's going to pull up all the layers underneath. Yes, I've got my teacher voice on. I try not to use it on normal streams, but since I'm trying to do this as a tutorial, I got my teacher voice on just a little bit. Now this technique will leave some stuff around the edges, which is how I get crusty bits on my crusty bits. Okay, you guys will see why I love this when I pull this up. Okay, this is to die for. All right, I'll show you on the paper because it'll be much better on this piece of paper. it's not pulling up as good on the paper. Darn it. And there. It is on this side. Just at the corners, it never pulls up as good on the corners. I don't know if it's because I didn't rub on that corner enough. But anyway. All right. Look at this yummy goodness. Talk about texture and layering. Look, you can see the hands. It looks like a stone wall. Look at it. Is that not cool? I'm going to see if I can get the rest of this pulled up. It's deli paper, actually. I don't usually get good pull-ups, clean-up prints on my deli paper, but this time that worked really well on the deli paper, too. You can see a hand here. See that? Uh-oh, chat split. Uh-oh, everybody refresh their chat. Yep. Totally, looks like everybody got booted from chat. All right, now I'm going to take a stencil and I'm just going to do a simple layering through a stencil. Okay, one more because I've got a piece of paper there. So let's add some cool, funky bubbles. This is by Artist Seller, I believe. Really? Okay, some people, it looked like everyone left and came right back. So maybe you didn't even notice it. All right, so I'm going to layer on to purple. So I'm going to want to use a color that's darker than the purple for it to show up. Or else white, so it would be opaque. And you know what? I think I actually, come to think of it, I might use white because then it'll really look like bubbles, won't it? I'm going to use white. And it's going to pull up some of this yumminess too here. All right, I'm going to use white. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking. That's not nearly enough white. Gosh, Jean. All right, I don't like that white very much. Where is my Liquitex white? It's here somewhere. 1 minute, please. Uh-oh, where did it go? Where is my Liquitex white? Oh, there it is. Okay, that Artist Loft white, don't buy it. Look at the difference. Okay. This is almost going to be like a pull-up print as well. But I'm going to do it through a stencil. All right, so now I'm going to put my stencil down. And I'm going to layer it onto this purple print. And let's see what we get. And I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to use some of the leftover space there. And I'm going to push down really well here through my stencil. Get some good bubbles going. Now, it's not possible, Eileen. Eileen's trying to challenge me not to use my hands, but I can't do it. It's not gonna happen. Sorry. I'm used to teaching and entertaining kids. I use my hands all the time when I'm teaching. Actually, Linda, I like all of my Artist Loft. And I've used this white before and I never noticed it being that translucent. Okay. Let's see if I can pick up any more through the stencil here before I pick it up and take the reverse. Now remember, one important thing to remember, if you use a stencil that has words or letters on it, and you're jelly printing, or anything that is directional, you have to put it down backwards on your, plate. All right, I have a little more here I want to pick up through the stencil. I want it to be, I didn't get all these little ones picked up here. Hey, Terry. Yeah, 8 by 10 is a really good size. If you can only afford to get one, you can get 8 by 10 because you can do 8 by 10, but you can also do smaller stuff on it. I was doing, when I purchased this, I wanted to do 12 by 12 backgrounds for my scrapbooking, which I have done. And I will be doing some more. I need to buy some more white 12 by 12. I have to make a wedding album, and I plan on using some of my printed pages. All right, so now I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to pull this using this one. Yeah. Colleen learned that the hard way, that you have to put your words upside down, unless you don't mind having your words and letters backwards on your printed paper. So this is really going to be like a pull-up. The white paint here should pull up some cool colors and layers from underneath, if there's anything still left from my last pull, which there might be. Let's see. Not really. There's some shimmer, but not much. However, this white will show up if I glue it down on to a page. Okay. So, let's stencil back away. So that is some simple layering techniques. Part 3. Darn it. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording, and I have 2 more recordings to do.